Wapakoneta, the softball team with a fantastic season last year, going 18-6 and tying for the WBL crown with both Elida and Bath. The Skins return just one senior to go along with a freshman class of 4 that will be counted on this year. But Coach Bill Sammons has confidence in his lone senior, Bridget Webb.
She's going to go play at the University of Findlay, and she's a 4-year letterman. She's 4-year first-team All-League, 4-year first-team All-District. She's a dragger slapper. She's extremely fast. She causes problems for other opponents.
While many softball teams rely on an ace pitcher or two to carry them during the season, the Lady Skins focus more on their bats.
We take a lot of pride in our hitting. We've hit a lot. We constantly get over 250 swings at every single practice and contact with the ball. So the girls really are schooled in how to hit real well.
It can get to a lot. I mean, there's times I go home and my arms are just feel like they're going to fall off, but it really pays off. We are just a hard-hitting team. We just line drive after line drive.
That attitude of sticking with a number of swings each day carries over from Webb to her teammates.
And I'm really excited about this team because they just don't complain. They work extremely hard. They're not afraid to do something monotonous over and over again, and that's what softball is, just a monotonous, boring repetition, and you got to get good at what you do. And these girls love that because they know that boring, monotonous repetition in practice makes them better in the game.
And Wapak knows they have to put in lots of time to prepare for an always tough Western Buckeye League season.
Yeah, it's a tough league. It's one of the best leagues I feel in the state. You got to be on your game every single week or else you're going to have some problems. And we're hoping to be as disciplined as we possibly can so we can be on our game as best we can. If you have an off day or if you have a person who's sick or something like that, you might as well pack it up because this league's tough. And it's all the way around tough, and it's getting tougher every single year, which makes our job harder.
Yeah, it is very competitive. I know there's a lot of good teams around this year still, and it's going to be really tough, but we're going to be ready.
Busy Wednesday around Lima Land. Several athletes signing to play collegiately at Wapakoneta, the first of 2 Lady Redskins taking their skills to the next level. Softball standout Bridget Webb signing to play at Findlay, an all-district first-teamer. She also holds a 3.97 GPA. Says school was her first priority in college.
I chose Findlay because it's a small school, which is what I wanted, and they're known for physical therapy, which is what I'm going to be majoring in, and I wanted to be able to play sports in college but not have to make the huge commitment of a Division I school.
Buckeye League always has some stiff competition in the softball circuit. This year, of course, no exception. Wapakoneta off to a 6-2-1 start with its only losses coming against Division I Perrysburg. Tonight, the Redskins looking for their second Western Buckeye League win in as many tries, hosting an Ottawa-Glandorf team that's also gotten off to a great start. The Titans winners of their last 5, including Tuesday's league opener against Kenton. That a one-run affair. Would this one be as close? Let's head over to Wapakoneta to see all the action. Start things in the 5th inning. The Redskins a 6-1 lead over the Titans. OG playing aggressively. Heather Urban stealing second. She gets down and dirty. She's in there for the stolen base. Wapakoneta pitcher Acacia Truesdale with the comebacker. She tosses over to first in the inning. Remains 6-1 for Wapakoneta. Truesdale a complete game 3-hitter, striking out 11. Now the Redskins at the plate. Findlay-bound Bridget Webb with her unique slap. Swing towards third. Devin Golden, a big fan of the show, slides in at third. The umpire says the OG third baseman came off the bag. Everyone's safe. That left the bases loaded for the Skins. Webb 3 for 4 and scored 2 runs. OG out of the jam, though. Leanne Vonderam sits under the pop fly, takes it in. Wapakoneta, though, wins the game 6.
Wapakoneta, the softball team, trying to move to 4-0 in WBL play, hosting Van Wert and Redskin pitcher Acacia Truesdale. Her usual self, striking out the leadoff batter here. Bottom 1, Bridget Webb, her usual self, leading the area in batting average and beating out the slap hit here. She'd move to second on a wild throw back to the pitcher. Then watch the Cougar defense. Everyone in on the infield. They expected the slap, and Tara Place certainly slapped it to the left center field gap. Webb scores. Place ends up on third, 1-0 Wapak. 2 batters later, Christy Steinke lifts this one to right. Rachel Anderson settles under it. Look at the throw home. Jessica McClellan applies the tag to get the out. But Wapak, too tough. They win 4-0. They are 4-0 in the Western Buckeye League. And The Wapakoneta softball team has 4 freshmen and just 1 senior. But Bill Salmon's crew, that tied for first in the WBL last year, has picked up right where it left off, starting 4-0 in the league, including a win over number 4 Defiance. Today, the Skins stepping out of conference for a double dip with Bell Fountain. Nice brunch in between games. I enjoyed a hot dog, thanks to the Redskin faithful. 6th inning, Redskins trying to add to a 1-0 lead in Game 1. Jordan Bodell gets things started with a single up the middle. 2 batters later, Bridget Webb laying down the sacrifice bunt. That moves runners to 2nd and 3rd. That brings up Tara Place, and for the 2nd straight day on the sports report, she places it somewhere the defense can't handle. Bodell scores 2-0 Wapak. Skins trying to put a 2nd runner in scoring position, but look at the perfect throw by the Bell Fountain catcher. That ends the threat. Top 7, Acacia Truesdale trying to finish what she started, but Kendra Roop crushing this pitch to left. Roop with a triple and a double on the day, and believe it or not, those are the only 2 hits Truesdale would allow, finishing the game with his strikeout, 14 Ks, and the complete game shutout as Wapak takes Game 1 2-0. In the 2nd, freshman Amy Copeland gets her first varsity win on the mound. The Skins cruise to a 9-1 win. Redskins now 11-2-1 on the season.
Speaking of those Redskins, Andy, a majority of that softball team are members of the Wapakoneta Fellowship of Christian Athletes. In 6 years, the Redskins FCA group has grown from about 4 or 5 regular attenders to about 50. Andy now has more on this group that shows faith on the field.
7 a.m. Thursday mornings at Wapakoneta High School. The cars fill the parking lot a half hour earlier than usual.
Like, the most neat thing about it is everyone here wakes up earlier than they need to, you know, and it's a public school and they don't have to come, but they wake up earlier than they need to come praise God, so it's pretty neat.
On the weekends, we're all kind of separate. We all do our own little thing or our own different sports throughout the week too, and then when we all come together and share our faith, it's pretty neat.
Brittany Duff played volleyball and basketball, and she now competes on the track. Duff's the president of Wapak's FCA. She schedules the weekly talks at these Thursday morning meetings. Sometimes she does the speaking, and others she allows the students to have that role.
It's kind of important to, I don't know, get lessons out to other people, I think. Sometimes people have a hard time in high school finding their way to the Bible. I know I do sometimes, and sometimes a little push once a week isn't all that bad.
Abby Snyder had the chance to share last Thursday. The softball catcher talked about how worshiping God was more than just singing songs. It was about giving him your whole life. Snyder and her battery mate all-world pitcher Acacia Truesdale are both Christians, and they see a deeper bond on the softball team because of the presence of the Lord.
It makes a tremendous difference because you have a whole different level to bond with your teammates on other than what you have in common on the field.
Coach Bill Salmons credits Snyder, Duff, and FCA captain Lindsey Kettner for the growth of the group the last few semesters.
Their life is not only Christian life on the field, but it's also off the field. And they're not hypocritical. Everything they say is who they are, and they lead by example.
And from these weekly meetings, the students then disperse and spread out amongst their individual teams to share Christ's love.
We pray before games, and you just know that God's on your side.
Softball is such a mental thing, and you know you're going to influence those underclassmen. So it's neat, you know, if you're going to be an example for him, you know, hopefully they'll be able to follow in your footsteps in the following years.
The Sports Report strive to give our viewers the best and most comprehensive local sports coverage throughout Northwest Ohio. But there are times when sports take a back seat. As Darren Lozier has the story of a little girl from Wapakoneta that has rallied the school's softball team to help in her battle against Hodgkins.
The Wapakoneta softball team is known as one of the top-notch programs in Northwest Ohio, but it's what this team did off the field that runs no possible comparison to any performance on the diamond. 11-year-old Brandy Fox suffers from Hodgkin's lymphoma. She is currently going through her 2nd stage of chemotherapy that is fighting this terrible disease. So when the Wapak Lady Redskins softball team heard of Brandy's illness, they quickly jumped to her aid.
When something like this happens in a community, that we as a softball team and as a Wapakoneta public school system has to rally around the individual. And Brandy goes to the middle school, and I really feel that they need to rally around Brandy and her family and to show that we support them 100% in anything they need.
Last Thursday, after the Redskins' victory over Shawnee, the team made a visit to Brandy's home, making her an honorary team member while presenting her with several gifts.
The game ball, a basketball. They brought me a picture, and then they brought me a card and a jersey, and they made me cupcakes.
I thought it was very awesome of them, very sweet of the community. She couldn't believe it at first. She was really amazed with it. She didn't believe it, but I think she was really pleased with it now that it happened.
I thought it was great. I was really looking forward to doing it. I really wanted to give her her support, show her that us, the older girls, she can really look up to us and we're there for her.
The Redskins not only added another bat to their lineup on this special day, but have given much hope and strength to Brandy and her family.
They really want to show a little bit of love in the community and show some community service, and that's what they did. And they were more excited to do this, and they want to do more things like this, and I think it says a lot about the character of our team.
You feel so bad for the girl, but you come out and see she's just a normal little girl with all that joy, and it's neat to come out and see she's fighting for that.
It kind of helps us keep in perspective that while we set our lives around softball at times, there is more out there, and we need to keep that in perspective and know that if we don't play a good game or we lose or something, it's not the end of the world.
You want the kids to be great kids, not just softball players. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how these kids grow up in the future, because if they keep their life in focus and priorities, and we talk about faith first, then their family, then their academics, and then softball comes in there at the dead bottom. And if they keep those priorities in focus, then there's nothing they can't do in life. And we just want to make sure that Brandy knows that we are supporting her 100%.
In Wapakoneta, I'm Darren Lozier for the Sports Report.
Wapakoneta softball team lost its opening sectional game on Monday, falling to Elida 3-2. But the Lady Skins still with plenty to play for, entering tonight as the lone unbeaten team in the WBL. To run the table, Wapak still needing to beat Salina, those Elida Bulldogs that beat them Monday, and tonight's opponent, number 7 Bath. Not an easy stretch for Bill Salmon's crew. We go to Wapak, Acacia Truesdale, and Bath's Hannah Rockhold squaring off on the mound. Redskins up 1-0 in the 4th. Bath's Amy Simendinger drags the grounder to second, uses her speed to beat the throw for the single. Rockhold out at the plate, but it's Truesdale getting the best of her here, using the off-speed pitch for the K. Wild Kittens not going away. Janae Tomlinson strokes one to left. Laura Ford waving home Simendinger. That ties the game at 1. Tomlinson on second with the double. Some history for Wapak's Truesdale, earning her 157th strikeout to break Melissa Steeman's record for strikeouts in a season for a Wapakoneta pitcher. Congrats to her. And how about this? Bridget Webb with the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 7th. She's the area's leading hitter. Webb comes through. Wapak wins 2-1. Let's see how it impacts the WBL softball standings. Wapak with a game-and-a-half lead now over both Defiance and Salina. Those two teams off tonight. The Redskins already beat Defiance. They host Salina Tuesday and close out the WBL season visiting Elida on Wednesday.
Full game and a half on top of both the Green and Blue Dogs, and Salina still a shot at the outright title, but needing some help, as you see there. Tonight, Salina could help itself in a big way by handing the Skins their first league loss. And you know how big a game it is when you break out the balloons.
Wow,
how about that, Andy?
That's
and
huge.
A packed crowd on hand as well over at Booster Field. You know there are balloons, and this is a big one. This one's scoreless until the bottom of the 5th. Audrey Horner laying down the bunt for Salina. Everyone's safe. Rachel Fleming slides across home plate. 1-0 lead. Wapakoneta trying to answer in the top of the 6th. Devin Golden standing on 3rd. Tara Place with the slap swing along the 3rd base line. Looked like Golden tied things up, but this one is called foul by the umpire. A tough call to make. We take a look at the Lynchton replay. Looks like it's just foul. Would that come back to haunt the Redskins? We'll find out. In the bottom of the inning, Rachel Fleming coaxes a walk with the bases loaded to score Amy Harner, and a little insurance for the Dogs. 2-0 now in the top of the 7th. Wapakoneta looking for the rally. Acacia Truesdale, the grounder up the middle. That scores Ashley Lucas. Now just a 1-run game. Wapakoneta looking to tie things up, but the Bulldog defense there for the easy 5-3 put out to end the game. Salina with a huge win to keep their Western Buckeye League title hopes alive. 2-1 the final over Wapakoneta.
Straight year, 3 teams entering the last week of WBL softball play with just 1 league loss. And believe it or not, the only team left in the postseason isn't one of them. Bath with 2 L's on the Western Buckeye League campaign. Just goes to show you how competitive the Division II conference is. Today, Wapak and Salina finishing off their WBL seasons, trying to get a piece of the crown. Both teams finishing at Elida. The Redskins claimed a 2-0 victory in the early game thanks to another shutout by Acacia Truesdale. Perfect 4-for-4 performance from the plate was the lone senior, Bridget. They share the WBL title with Wapak. Both teams finished at 8-1, and for the second straight year, Wapak in the mix for that title. Defiant still a chance to make it a 3-way deal. They have to beat Bath on Monday. My favorite times of year, it's banqueting season for the spring sports. Wapakoneta with a lot to celebrate. The Redskins softball team an 18-4 overall record, winning a piece of the WBL crown for the 2nd consecutive season and inviting us along for their celebration. And anytime anyone invites the sports report out for a banquet, we're glad to come by. Hint, hint. Look at this. We found out the Redskins faithful enjoying the sports report on the big screen as they ate. No better entertainment while you enjoy some good food, and it was good food. The Skins broke numerous school records. A big reason for their success, the play of their lone senior, and of course Bridget Webb, the Findlay-bound second baseman, named WBL Player of the Year, thanks in part to her .644 batting average and a season where she broke 6 school records. It's a special night for Webb to remember a great year.
Well, it's a little different because it's usually used to having other people around me, and being the only senior, it's a little tougher because I'm leaving all these girls and I'm the only one that's older than them, and it's really weird. I don't know what to make of it really yet. I'm going to make an effort to come back no matter what because I love all these girls just like they're my sisters because I don't have any, so they are my sisters.
Wapakoneta, the softball team with a fantastic season last year, going 18-6 and tying for the WBL crown with both Elida and Bath.